Hi BookTube, it's Amy. So I've sort of gotten into the habit of filming my Friday Reads videos on Thursday night, right when I get home from work. As you can see, still dressed from work here. But the reason I've decided to do this is because I've also gotten to the habit of going straight to a friend's place after work on Friday, and we watch the new episode of Grey's Anatomy, and then sometimes we watch a few episodes of ER, or we sit and chat, and I don't get home until after 9 p.m., sometimes closer to midnight, which is too late to be filming a Friday Reads to post on a Friday. So if I film on a Thursday night and post on Friday morning, then I can get the Friday Reads to you on Friday and still feel justified calling it a Friday Reads. This past weekend I didn't film on Thursday night, ended up filming on Saturday and calling it a Weekend Reads. But I do like the BookTube institution, so to speak, of the Friday Reads. So just quickly, what I've read since I last talked to you in my Weekend Reads. I read Thomas Harris's novel Red Dragon, which I greatly enjoyed, and you can check out my discussion video on this book that I posted this past Monday. Won't say much more about it here since I already talked about it extensively for I think 10 minutes, so there's that. And then I also read on Wednesday, actually no, it would have been on Tuesday that I read this book, because yesterday was Wednesday and I didn't even crack open a book on Wednesday. But on Tuesday I read The Witch of Sixkill by R. Carl Largent. And this is one that I hauled in the horror book haul that I posted also on Monday. I paid $1 for it. Off of AbeBooks, and it came used from a bookshop in the United States. So this is the one that was about a man who goes off to visit a witch, and she says that she can make a trade with him to get revenge on 4 people in his life that he is pretty upset with. Now, he's not sure what to expect. The novel actually opens in Newfoundland. He is in the American military. He is stationed up in Canada, up in Newfoundland. And he is just about to go home on leave. He has done his stint in Newfoundland. He has no plans to come back. But a friend of his sends him out to this witch, and he discovers that she's very beautiful. He sleeps with her, and he leaves her place with 4 mysterious jars with instructions to only open them, well, not to open them at all, but only for them to be opened by the people that they're intended for. So one of them is intended for his girlfriend. She thinks that they are going to get married, that he is taking her with him back to the States, but he's got nefarious intention towards her, and he wants some revenge. He's also upset with his brother, who inherited the family fortune, and a couple of other people, his ex-wife, he wants to get revenge against, as well as another man within the American military who's based out of Newfoundland. And so one by one he sends these jars off, goes on his merry way, not sure whether they work at all, not even sure what they're supposed to do. And then of course people begin to open the jars, and the contents kill them. And the contents are, I won't spoil it for you if you want to read this, but the contents are different in each jar, and it is quite horrific. And meanwhile, he has no idea that people are dying. He's not even sure that these jars are working, because despite wanting revenge so badly, he goes about his life and essentially forgets about all these people who have wronged him. And he's the kind of character who really has no remorse for whatever may happen. It was quite an interesting and exciting book to read. I enjoyed it. Definitely worth my $1 plus shipping that I paid for that. So what am I planning to read this coming weekend? I'm going to finally crack open Thomas Harris's novel Hannibal, which I intended to start reading on Tuesday, but Then I got that great shipment of books from the States and read The Witch of Sixkill instead. And then yesterday was just a non-reading day. And I haven't even cracked open a book yet today either. I've got another book at work that I'm intending to read, and I am forgetting the title of it. It is a police procedural that my colleague gave to me, suggesting I read it, and I took it all the way to work today, set it down on my desk thinking maybe I'd read it on lunch break, ended up having lunch with a friend, didn't read it all, and I just left it there with the intention that I'll probably pick it up on my lunch break tomorrow and see if it's something I like. I believe it's got grave in the title. The only reason I remember it has grave in the title is because when my colleague was reading it, he's a francophone, and he said to me, "What is grave? What does that mean?" And I explained to him what it was in the context of the title. So I'm going to read those two, and if I get through those, then I will likely pick up another one of the horror novels that I hauled on Monday. And I'm thinking I might go with Disturb Not the Dream by Paul Trachtman, which is this one here. I'll just read the back for you again. I'm not too sure what it's about, but the back says a 5-year-old screams in her sleep, a bloodied man hovers over a teenage girl, a mysterious beauty makes love to a ripe teenage boy, and a family must face the terrifying truth that ties them to a horrifying past and leads them towards a blood-curdling future. Disturb Not the Dream, a heart-stopping tale of unrelenting fear. So that one sounds exciting. So those are my reading plans for the weekend. My typical weekends start with a pretty busy Friday night. I often hang out with friends. Lately it's been watching Grey's Anatomy at my friend's house. Saturdays are more laid back. Often I'll meet a friend for coffee, or I'll go to a couple of movies, and then I'll sit down and read a bit. Sundays really are my reading days. I'll either binge Netflix or I'll read a book or two on Sundays. Sundays are also cleaning day and often laundry day, which is why I often end up reading a lot. I've been enjoying my reading so far in 2019. It's been a very different reading year so far from past reading years because I set a much lower Goodreads goal. Last year was 200, this year was 10, which I achieved within the first couple of weeks of 2019. I haven't felt any internal pressure from myself to read to keep up with that goal. And because I'm done school as well, I don't feel the need to read any political science related texts, which I have to admit I have become disenchanted with in the last couple of years. And I think because I'm in a different place in my life, because I'm working and I have that mentality now where I leave my work at work and I come home and I relax, I feel more comfortable, I guess I would say, reading when I feel like it and not feeling the need to read whenever I have vacant time, just because that vacant time is there and I'm going to regret it if I don't, because I essentially have the rest of my life to read. And if I want to read a few cheesy horror novels, why not? I can pick up the rest of the volumes of Proust any old time. So that's really my philosophy this year, and I'm enjoying my reading. I hope that you're enjoying your reading as well. Let me know what you plan to read this weekend and in the coming week.